So we built this Ford Consul back, finishing it in 2017. The owner then took it away to get it rebuilt, and it's been on the road for quite a few years now. Done quite a few shows, won quite a few trophies as well, and it just looks awesome. I absolutely love this car. It's such a sleek looking, smooth car. We took the handles out of it, put solenoids on there, smoothed all the trim off, did quite a lot of restoration work on it as well. It's got a Ford Granada V6 engine in it. The customer rebuilt it all, which took a while, you know, as any guy does, especially when you're doing it in your part-time. Now, because he's had it looking like this for quite a few years, it's now time to change it up a little bit. And he has already done our fine line tapes for us. Here's his design. He wants all these scallops painted on it. To give it more of a retro feel, it's gonna stand out even more than it does now once these are done. It's a brave move. It's a bold move. It's really gonna, I don't know, it's just gonna show it off a lot more. So on the body, we're going the 3-stage pearl, which same as we've got on the roof. Now this stripe on the roof, we're going the gold. Then it's gonna be pinstriped. I have to buy a local pinstriper who's gonna do it at the owner's house. So it's a bold move. It's taken 3 days to mask all this out. We're gonna mask it now, mask on the outside of it, which you can see now, scotch it all, prep it for paint, take that masking off, remask it, clean it all obviously, and get that painted first, then go onto the roof as well, because it's 2 different colors of course. So there's a lot of masking involved. It's hours and hours worth of masking, bit of scotching, and then the paint is the quick fun bit. So yeah, time to get masking, time to get busy and change this thing up. So I've got the car masked up now. Now what I've done is put a 1.5 inch masking tape either side of the fine line tape that the owner's put on. Now the reason I've done that is to stop me from scratching or scuffing the paintwork that is just gonna stay perfect. Now what I'm gonna do next is use a grey scotch and just literally scotch everywhere we're gonna be painting. Now what that does, it keys the panel. It puts little scratches in there and the paint sticks to the scratches. That's all we've got to do. It is that simple really. We know the paint is perfect underneath it. It's nice and flat. If you were trying to do this on a rough panel, rough paint, something like that, you would have to flat that paint back. You know, you need a nice flat surface for your paint to go to. This is already great, you know, so literally we can just get away with scotching it. We're gonna pre-clean it all first, scotch it all out, take that masking tape off, and then remask it ready for paint. Now, I could have got away with not doing that, but then I'd have to be so careful about going up to a 3mm line, because I don't want to go over the line, because then you're scratching the paint, which you can polish out, but it's just quicker and easier to put the masking tape on, not worry so much. I don't have to worry so much. I can literally go over the edge, do a nice job of the prepping, ready for paint. So yeah, there's a lot of scotching to get done here. The car is masked up. I've left a 4mm line between the masking paper, masking tape, and the blue line. So all I'm doing now is filling in the gaps. That is literally it. So the reason I'm doing that is because there's a big buildup of paint. Of course we've got, and it's more of a buildup than I would generally like, but it's the color it is, and it's the color the customer wants. So it's going white pearl, so you got 2 or 3 coats of base coat, 2 coats of pearl and 2 coats of lacquer. And that's a big build-up. And that amount of paint will build up and can lip over the fine line tape. And the trouble is, if you let that fully dry, when you come to take your tape off, you can't, because the paint's lipped over it, or you end up pulling your tape and it rips paint and it just becomes a hassle. So, best thing to do is just before it's fully dry, or just while it's slightly tacky, just let it tack off, is pull your fine line tape off, pulling it off away from the paint, rather than dragging it into the paint, of course, pulling it away from the paint, and remove all the masking before it's fully dried. So that's the reason why I've masked it like this. So what I'll do is after it's painted, take this 1-inch tape off, which will uncover the blue line, and then I'll just take that one off. So it's fiddly, but it's the best way to do it. Right, so now the car's painted and demasked. Next job is to denib it. Now, denibbing is basically just sanding out all the imperfections, and that is just tiny little bits of dirt. They're as big as a pinhead. They're absolutely tiny, especially on white. They're actually quite hard to see unless you get the right light on them. Now, there's a few dotted around. Doesn't matter how clean your paint booth is, no matter where you're painting, you're always going to get little bits of dirt. Now, what I use is a denibbing block. Now I make these, they're polycarbonate. And the reason I use polycarbonate is because it's hard. If you use rubber, it doesn't matter really how hard your rubber is, it's not as hard as what you're sanding. You know, so we use polycarbonate because it's hard. It will actually get it flat. So literally just sand in the smallest area possible. I always like to use wet and dry. We go over that with a Trizact, 3000 grit Trizact, and then just quickly polish. So get those done, and then we're finished. I love jobs like this. Now this car looked wicked before, but it looks so much cooler now. Check this out. So this car has always grabbed attention wherever it's gone since we built it. It's done really, really well at the shows. And I've been speaking to Andy about doing the scallops on this for probably about the last 3 years at least, and he's finally plucked up the courage to do it. Now, I don't know if I'd have been brave enough because it looked super cool before, really sleek, and you know what? It looks like an American car, which is a really big talking point because people don't know what it is, you know, and I mean, it is very, very subtle. You know, subtle modifications that we've done to it with the removing the door handles, air suspension, and just the, you know, the trim pieces that Andy's chosen on the rebuild. Interior looks absolutely beautiful, and again, he's brave but suits the theme perfectly. It just looks wicked with these scallops on it. He's done a really, really good job of masking these, so fair play to him. It took him 3 days. It's not a slow, it's not a fast job, but getting them all the proportions correct, you know, getting the ideas, things like that, he's done a great job. And of course, it was down to me to finish the masking and get the paintwork on, which I think it looks more subtle than I thought it was going to do, but it gives you even more detail of things to look at. So Andy's took inspiration from other cars that he's been looking at for years, did a few sketches through Photoshops and come up with this design, which I think is just enough. If these were scallops were any wider, it would have just killed it. It would have been overkill, literally. I think it's just enough to give you something else to look at, but not taking away from the overall look of the car. Plus it makes it look even more retro if it ever could have done. So he's also gone for the roof as well, which was a surprise. I didn't know we were going to do the roof, and I didn't know we were going to do the boot as well, but you know what? I love it. I like it even more, I think, than I did before, and I've always loved this car since we've done it. Obviously you got the stripes down the sides as well, around the headlight, you know, everything just looks perfect. Now this is going to get pinstriped in a couple of weeks by local pinstriper. Not sure what colour he's going to go for. I think it's going to be fairly subtle, to be fair, just to cover that ridge of paint and give it one extra little detail. So yeah, let's have a look at the rest of the car. The rest of the interior is very much standard, believe it or not. Obviously it's just been trimmed perfectly. We've painted the dashboard. I believe, if I remember right, because it was a long time ago that we built this, there's a few holes and things that we welded up. Obviously Andy's done a brilliant job of finding the correct materials and just making it look period correct on these custom parts that he's put on. Now this is fake ostrich skin, gold coloured, so it's a brave move, but it just suits it perfectly. I know Andy was on about doing the white vinyl on the dashboard, but doing that on the dashboard, it creates so much glare. All you can see when you're looking out the window is your dashboard, so perfect choice there. Obviously got all the custom speaker surrounds and stuff, so Chris has done an awesome job on this. I could say it's brave, but it just suits the theme perfectly. It's really comfy as well. Beautiful car to drive. So everyone would imagine that this car would have a V8 in it. Now, what it looks like it should have a V8 in it, but it's actually a Ford Granada V6 with fuel injection. And I didn't know it was going to look this good. I didn't expect it to look this good where the first time I've seen it. But he's detailed it. It looks like it should be in there. And you know what? With the fuel injection, plus being a V6, it runs really smooth. It runs really well. And it's just the perfect engine for a summertime cruiser. And he uses this car a lot, which is great. It's what it was built for. It's what he's always done with it, apart from the years that it was off the road and rotten before we got hold of it. And he's never going to sell this. So probably just keep on modifying it as it's done with the stripes now. So yeah, absolutely awesome car. I love it. If you get to see this car in person at any of the shows this year, make sure to check it out. Have a word with Andy as well, because I'm sure he'll show you all the little details on this car, and it's full of them. It's just a beautiful car to check out. So yeah, what I'm really proud of, the lads here have done an awesome job as well during the restoration 7 years ago. This still looks fresh now. Check it out, and we'll see you soon.